Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure and extreme honor to introduce you to Mr. Henry J. Gumball, Jr., President of the Gumball Department Store. Mr. Gumball, please allow me to introduce you to the first of our top 3 candidates for the position of the Gumball's Department Store Santa to celebrate this year's Christmas season. First, I'd like to introduce you to Mr. Blue Toe Iron Dog Horowitz. His past employment highlights include bouncer at Jimmy's Bar and Grill, a self-employed motorcycle supplier called Get 'Em While They're Hot, and a professional hand model for Curel hand lotion.
Excuse me, that's Cruel.
Sorry.
All right then. Mr. Horowitz, is it? Can you tell me about some of your past accomplishments?
Not without my attorney present. Next question.
I see. Well, can you tell me about how you get along with children?
Kids are great. Cops never even check you when they're riding shotgun in the old hog. And even if they do find something on them, it's not like they're going to be doing any hard time or anything, you know? Kids are great.
Ah, yes, I see that. Well, let's move along, shall we? Can you tell me about what Christmas means to you?
Christmas? Christmas is the greatest holiday of all time. When I first found about Christmas, 2 words changed my life. Free presents. It's like stealing without doing any of the work. And then, you know, if anyone says anything bad about Christmas, I am going to personally break their legs for free.
Well then, good answer, Mr. Horowitz. Very good answer. Sadly, though, this interview is over. Thank you for your time and thought-provoking answers. Miss Fidgens, can you please have security escort Mr. Horowitz to the front door? And have them keep their tasers at the ready. Next candidate, Miss Beasley.
Yes, of course, Mr. Gumball, sir. Our next candidate is Miss Absinthe Agu Amethyst. Her past employment includes 2 years as goth couture at the Belladonna Briar, a body piercing and tattoo parlor for Visigoths of all shapes and sizes, 6 months selling cars, specializing in hearse sales, and finally 1 year as sunshine hostess at the It's a Teensy Weensy World ride in Happy Camperland amusement park.
Interesting attire, Miss Amethyst. Do you always have a penchant for dressing in black, or did you just come from a funeral?
No, not until my gig at Happy Camperland. Before that, it was pink, white, and pastels.
Ah, well, how do you feel about working with children?
Me? I feel nothing. It's like I'm stuck in a deep, dark, abysmal cave with no air, no way out. Like your soul's being rendered in two by a black-hearted, sick, nauseous being. Where your only way out is your own superficiality. Do you know what I mean?
Do I know what you mean? Well, of course I do. Who can't identify with that? Right, Miss Fidgens?
Exactly what I was going to say, sir. You must be a mind reader.
Well, let's move along, shall we? Miss Amethyst, can I call you Absinthe?
Whatever. Names are meaningless.
Good point. Yes, point well taken. Let's see, where were we? Ah, yes. What does Christmas mean to you?
Christmas? Christmas means everything to me. The warmth, the fuzziness, the funny effects of catnip, the fur balls.
Whoa. Catnip? Fur balls? Whatever are you talking about?
Oh, I get it. You're talking about the holiday. I thought you were talking about my cat. My cat's name is Christmas. I wondered how you knew her name.
Well, the meow the merrier, I always say. Well, thank you for your time and very, very pithy answers, I must say. Miss Fidgens, could you please escort Miss Absinthe out into the waiting room and bring in the next candidate?
finally, Mr. Gumball, we have a Mr. Sandy Nicholas. His past employment experiences are somewhat vague, to say the least. And he hasn't listed any employers, but describes himself as a seasonal worker and volunteer.
Well, he doesn't appear to have too much of what one would call a work ethic, does he? Now then, Mr. Nicholas, please tell me about your rather sparse working history. Can you fill in the blanks?
Oh, why, of course, young man. You see, I've never actually worked for money. It's been on more of a volunteer basis, you might say.
I see. Well, there are no dates of employment, or of volunteer service, as you would like to call it. Tell me, how long have you been in the workforce?
Oh, at my age, who can remember? Seems like hundreds of years.
I bet, Mr. Nicholas.
Oh, please, call me Sandy. Everyone else does.
Oh, all right then. Sandy. Tell me, have you ever done any volunteer work with children?
Oh, why, yes. In fact, that's my specialty, you might say.
Specialty? How's that?
Oh, I just love to sit and talk with children about the toys they like, what they love to do, sing songs, and then I get to tell them stories. Stories about what's really important about the Christmas season.
What a coincidence. Well then, tell me, Sandy, what does Christmas mean to you?
Well, you see, Henry. Oh, may I call you Henry?
If you must.
But Christmas is not about giving toys to the children or feasting with your family and friends. It's all about the giving. Not just to our family and friends, but how God gave to us that ultimate gift on that first Christmas 2,000 years ago.
Oh, please spare me the religious prattle, Mr. Sandy. I just don't see how...
Well, that's the point, isn't it, Henry? Everyone looks at all those pretty lights and candles, all the presents under the tree, and all that great food. But they miss the greatest gift of all, the gift of the Christ child, born in that lowly manger. God come down to earth as a man to save us all from ourselves. That child, Henry, is the most obvious gift. And so often, so sadly, we miss it.
Yes, well, thank you, Mr. Nicholas. Miss Fidgens, would you please escort Mr. Nicholas out to the waiting room with Miss Amethyst? Well, Miss Beasley, Miss Fidgens, I believe our choice is clear. I believe Miss Amethyst is our best choice for this year's Gumball Santa Claus. What say you?
Why her?
Why not Sandy? He looked like the best choice to me.
Nonsense, ladies. Look at Miss Amethyst's resume. She has work experience with children at Happy Camperland.
But Mr. Gumball,
That makes no sense
are
to
you
me.
serious? Did you
She's
see
gonna
Sandy?
scare the children.
Did
Nonsense,
the girl?
ladies,
She
nonsense,
had
Not
a
even
nonsense,
washing
nonsense.
expense.
That's quite enough arguing. Miss Beasley, please call Miss Amethyst back in so we can congratulate her and get on with the real reason for the season. Shopping. Miss Beasley, where's Miss Amethyst?
Sandy's the only one out there. He said she and Mr. Horowitz are going to the Burning Man Festival on his Harley. Whatever are we going to do?
So, Mr. Nicholas is the only interviewee left. Oh my. Ladies, let it never be said that Henry Gumball Jr. was not resourceful. After careful consideration, I believe that Sandy Nicholas is the right man for the job.
Ho, ho, ho.